Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. So we continue on in the prospect pool overviews today with the Ottawa Senators. We officially have 3 more teams left, and we're going to finish them up over the next 2 days. So regardless, here the Ottawa Senators, a very interesting team. A lot of their prospects have already pretty much graduated to the NHL. There still are some guys here that are in the system waiting to get some playing time, but regardless, the majority of their guys have been graduated to the NHL as they are looking at being a playoff team this coming season. Starting off here, though, with Ridley Gregg. Gregg is probably the best prospect in the pool right now for Ottawa. He was a center/left wing from Lethbridge, Canada. He is 6 foot, 181 pounds. He won the U20 World Junior Gold in 21-22. So he obviously has that experience. Was drafted 28th overall, in 2020. And always has been one of the favorable guys lately with Ottawa's prospect pool. They haven't gotten a lot of new additional players since Gregg. So really, he's been looked at as the top prospect there for the Ottawa Senators for a pretty long time. And he did start playing games last year with Ottawa. He played 20 games, had 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points. So it already looked like in those 20 games he was already doing a decent impact with Ottawa, having almost half the amount of points in games played, which for a younger player, that's pretty solid. Not going to lie. And, he's a guy who I look at as he can play pretty much anywhere on the ice. He can play as a wing. He can play as a center, which is a great guy to have for sure. And he shows a lot of effort, too. He's a really an effort player out there on the ice and definitely has earned a spot with Ottawa, hopefully on the opening night roster. I haven't seen anything that says he's going to be sent down, but, I really like Gregg a lot there as a good, probably bottom 6 forward to start out, but if he plays well, he could get some top 6 minutes at some point this season for sure, but I like Gregg a lot. Next up then, we have Zach Ostapchuk. Ostapchuk is a left wing from Edmonton, Canada. He is 6'3", 205 pounds. He won the World Junior Championship twice. So he's been a 2-time World Junior 20 winner. Was a second-round pick, 39th overall in 2021. Has been looked at since then as a very interesting winger. Has great speed, great shot. He's a really good contender there for a spot. I don't believe he's earned one, if I'm correct as of right now. I'm probably wrong because I don't religiously follow Ottawa's their system and that, but I don't think he has a spot, which isn't a bad thing at all because he did spend this past year in the WHL, so it wouldn't be bad for him to get a season of AHL experience before fully transforming to the NHL. Obviously we'll see if that happens. But regardless, in the WHL with the Giants and the Ice, he had 55 games played, 31 goals, 36 assists for 67 points. I like those numbers there a lot for Ostapchuk. He has great versatility and heart. Shows a lot of effort out there on the ice for sure. And is definitely a pretty solid second-round pick that could do some good for Ottawa for sure. But, it might still be a little bit before we see him make an impact with that team for sure, though. And then finally, the final forward I have here on my list is Tyler Boucher. And Boucher spread a lot of controversy since he was drafted so high. Right wing/left wing from Scottsdale, USA. He's 6'1", 205 pounds. Drafted 10th overall in 2021, and there was a lot of controversy there. People believe that Ottawa should have drafted Jesper Wallstedt with that 10th overall pick. They thought that was the best spot for him. And if I'm being honest, and I'm not trying to disrespect Boucher at all, but if they picked Wallstedt, I feel like they would be better off. Realistically, Boucher's a good player. I think he's going to do well with Ottawa. But just realistically, if they picked Wallstedt, they would have been better off. And all of the problems with goaltending and such, maybe those never would have happened if they picked him. But Boucher wasn't a bad choice either. But just injuries have been a little bit hard for him to, make an impact in the OHL and in the AHL or NHL too. 21 games played this past year with the Ottawa 67s. He had 10 goals, 7 assists for 17 points. So it's good he's obviously, playing locally. But as I said, injuries have stalled development a lot, and that's why he's kind of been not forgotten necessarily, but he's just taken a little bit longer than some of the other top draft picks from that year's draft to fully make an NHL impact. But yeah, I like Boucher a lot. I think he has a good future, and if he can stay healthy this coming year, he could see a a huge stock in his development rise. So I like Boucher a lot. There's a good right wing / left wing there for Ottawa. Moving into the defense, then you got Tyler Clevin. Clevin is a defenseman from Fargo, USA. He's 6'4", 201 pounds. He won the U20 World Junior Gold in 2021. So obviously he has that in his resume. Probably the best best defensive prospect now in Ottawa's pool, and he's already been playing some games up with the team. And it looks like with that, like he really could contend for an opening night roster spot. He played 8 games this past year with Ottawa, so he definitely has some experience there under his belt. He was drafted 44th overall in 2020, and in 35 games played with the University of North Dakota, he had 8 goals, 10 assists for 18 points. So I like him there a lot as a good burly blue liner. Can also shoot the puck very well, is what I've seen in some scouting reports. So he's a guy that's a huge favorite to be a solid defender in Ottawa's blue line. Now, originally I was going to talk about Lassie Thompson for my second defender, but he was put on waivers before this video was made. So we're going to talk about Maxence Guente, if I'm saying that right. Defenseman from St. Foy, Canada, 6'3", 196 pounds. He won the Hlinka Gretzky Gold in 1819. And let me tell you, he's not much different from Lassie Thompson. It's still taking him a little bit longer to get development there from him. And this past year, he did do really well with Belleville, but was drafted 187th overall in 2019. So like a 7th round pick we're talking there, or a 6th round pick. And it's taken him a little bit, but I really like him a lot there, as could see some NHL time this coming year. 72 games played, 5 goals, 35 assists, 40 points. He has good upside as an offensive defender. Not going to be really high scoring offensively, but could be a good third pairing guy if he gets the chance. So I like him a lot there as a good defender there for Ottawa. Would I say he's better than Thompson? I mean, both of them have not really had too good of NHL stints, so I'd say they're honestly kind of even at this point. But yeah, I like Gente a lot. A decent replacement, I guess, for Thompson. Then he got Mads Søgaard to wrap things up here on the goaltending position. Søgaard, a goalie from Aalborg, Denmark. Yeah, Denmark. 6'7", 198 pounds. He was drafted 37th overall in 2019, and he just made his impact this past year, and it was a slower impact. He wasn't the best. He played 19 games, had an 8-6-3 record, a 3.32 goals against average, and a .889 save percentage. Goalies, again, they always have weird years like that. And if it weren't for all the injuries that Ottawa faced involving Talbot and Forsberg, Søgaard probably would have played significantly less, maybe not even at all, this past year with Ottawa. But definitely, he will be a good goalie. You just got to give him some patience and give him some time for sure. Other prospects in the pool that goes as follows. You got Igor Sokolov and Robbie Jarvency. If you're wondering where Jacob Bernard-Docker is, in my like considerations with making these videos, he's technically not a prospect. He's played more games in the NHL that go over the 25 game limit, so he's not technically a prospect anymore for me with Ottawa. So that's why he's not mentioned. But I did almost mention him, but obviously he doesn't have the game requirement. But yeah. That is your prospect pool overview for the Buffalo Sabres. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, that subscribe on down below. I really appreciate it. We got 2 more. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Carolina Hurricanes to wrap things up here this weekend, and then that following week, the NHL's back. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.